Hey everybody, I'm super excited to bring you this video and show you what is by far the rarest pleco I have ever owned. My good buddy Chew over at Hazel Aquatics, he's been kind of selling off some of his pleco groups and moving on to other projects, and he was super generous enough to let me purchase this group off of him. I don't know if there's anybody else in the world that has these, and I'm hoping maybe somebody who sees this video can help me confirm or deny that claim. But this is a group of L201 plecos that includes two specimens that I believe are Xanthic. So anybody who knows about various color mutations, color morphs, the most obvious one that comes to mind is albino. And originally me and Shu thought that these were albino because they're completely yellow, and at least one of them has kind of not pink eyes, but they're not black or blue. They're just like clear. It's kind of weird. And then the other smaller one has like one eye that's almost like a blackish color and one eye that looks more of a clearish reddish color. It's kind of weird. So this was a group of 8 L201 plecos. 6 of them kind of look standard, and 2 of them are yellow. And we originally, like I said, thought they were albino, but Chew sent them out to me, and I've been keeping them for, a month now, maybe 2 months. I forget exactly when I got them. But I'm noticing the bigger of the 2 specimens, because there's of the group, there are 8 of them, and the 2 yellow ones, one's bigger and is a female, and one is smaller and unsexable. And then there's a big standard male, and I think the other 5 in the group might honestly all be standard females. So anyway, the bigger yellow one, the female, she's been going through a color transformation since I got her. She came in and she was completely yellow, just like the smaller one, and she's actually turning back to black slightly. And I've read some accounts that this can be a characteristic of Xanthic specimens, or partially Xanthic, or it doesn't happen with albino, and albino stays albino. So just the fact that this one's kind of going through some type of color phasing leads me to believe that it's Xanthic. And honestly, that's even more exciting for me than albino. I've worked with albinos before, and the prospect of having an albino L201 was super exciting anyway, because I don't think anybody has that either. But it being Xanthic, I don't know, it just almost feels even more rare to me. I don't know. But both are rare. Both are super exciting. Both I'm hoping to confirm if anybody has them, anybody else in the world has them. Chew got these from somebody he imports from, and he wasn't able to give me too much info from the importer. But I do believe whatever is causing this yellowness is genetic, and is something that I can hopefully pass down to another generation and start breeding this trait selectively, and hopefully at some point offering all of you Xanthic L201s available for purchase. That's the game plan. I'd love to spread these out to other people, and I'd love to kind of create my own line of these. I do know that there's these 2, and in the original picture that Chew had sent me, and I'll kind of pop it up on the screen here, there was another one in there you can kind of see towards the middle right that looked like it had a tiny shade of yellow to it. There's 3 in this picture that kind of look like they got some type of yellow tint going on. But there's also 9 in this picture, and the group that I got from Chew is just 8, so maybe one was lost along the way. Or maybe that other yellow one, the other one that kind of looks like it's on the fringe of yellow and black, maybe that one phased back to black, and maybe it's one of the ones I have now. Maybe one of those 6 standards is actually another Xanthic that's just phased back to black right now. The hope is, because I got all 8 of these from Chew, from the same source, the hope is that they're hopefully all siblings or related, and that even the standard ones will carry the Xanthic gene recessively. So if I have the Xanthic female spawn with that standard male in the group, I'm hoping he has the recessive gene to her dominant gene, and they will at least be able to throw a couple Xanthic fry. If not, then I can at least take the fry that come from their pairing and I can assume that some or all of them have the trait recessively, and spawning them back with that female, or maybe even amongst themselves, theoretically should possibly give me some further Xanthic fry. Now, I wasn't the best in biology, but that's kind of my rough understanding of it. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm kind of way off. And one little other tidbit of information that is leading me to believe that it is kind of tied in their genetics is Chew had previously done another import from this particular exporter in order of some very small L201, and in that order there was also a random yellow one. Now that yellow one had moved on to somebody else. Chew had sold it to somebody else, and it unfortunately passed away. But that's just kind of further evidence that this just wasn't a one-off fluke, that for some reason this genetic line of L201s, kind of whatever source they're coming from, there's some type of yellow in their genetics that's, randomly popping up here and there. I don't know if the exporter or wherever the source was that he got these from, I don't know if that person is also kind of breeding Xanthic L201, and maybe these are just a couple ones that kind of slipped through the cracks that he didn't mean to sell, or if this is just a fluke and they haven't actually been selectively breeding these, and I am somehow the luckiest person and have something that nobody else has. Kind of hoping it's the second one, but even if it's not, I'm still happy to have something that, as far as I know, nobody else in the United States has, at least. So one fun bit of information that I was kind of saving till halfway in this video, I already spawned that Xanthic female. I'll show you that video right here. This entire group just began spawning, to my knowledge, for the first time. They're kind of all young adult specimens, so I don't think they've ever spawned before. And I've noticed something in a lot of hypensistrus groups of mine, when the groups, if they're all the specimens are around the same age and they've been together a while, when they first start spawning, they'll kind of like rapid fire spawn. My L173 did this, where like the dominant male will spawn with like every female in the tank in a very short order of time, and the beta male might even get in on the mix, and they'll run through a ton of spawns in a short amount of time. That's what these guys did. I had like 2 or 3 spawns within like 3 weeks, where that one standard male spawned with like 2 or 3 of the standard females, and then the albino female got in on the mix, as you can see from the trapping, and I pulled the eggs recently, and I got 9 fry. So I already have the first batch of offspring from this Xanthic female. It's still far too early to tell if any of them are going to end up developing that yellowish color. They all kind of, at least on the surface, look like they're beginning to develop the standard coloration. But, from what I've been reading and what I've been seeing, the Xanthic doesn't always present in the same way that albino does. These specimens could end up growing out to 1 inch before they show the yellow, and the yellow could then turn to back to black, and it's not as straightforward as albino. So if nothing else, even if they end up being standard, I can pair them back with her and hopefully get a good deal of Xanthic fry. But yeah, I've already managed to spawn this female, and now my next hope is that smaller Xanthic specimen that's unsexable, I'm hoping that one turns out to be a male, because if that one's a male, that's just going to make my life so much easier. I'll kind of selectively remove specimens from the tank here and there and kind of put them in their own separate group, so that all I'm left with will be the Xanthic female and the Xanthic male, hopefully. And then they can start spawning, and theoretically that should really speed up the process to get some yellow offspring. So anyway, that's just kind of my super exciting and fun little side project. I wasn't even sure if I was going to make a video on it. I kind of wanted to keep it under wraps, but I'm just a little too excited to not talk about it. So if any of you have seen a really cool and uncommon color mutation or color morph pleco, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear if anybody else has a really cool and uncommon albino or Xanthic or melanistic specimen. So let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this is the fun little project that I am working on right now. And anyways, if you found this video interesting in any way, feel free to hit that like button. And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button for lots of awesome Pleco content just like this. And as always, thank you for watching.